So this is the fourth episode of the podcast I'm doing. Still nameless, but might just have to become the nameless podcast. But um, the guest is John Vogus, the legendary John Vogus, I should say. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
but you're at the end of your freshman year of college. So like,
Yep.
how's that been going for you and stuff?
It's been going pretty good. I've been taking this semester. I'm only taking one class in person, and the rest are online, which can be kind of tough at sometimes. But it's been going pretty good, I would have to say.
Yeah, dude, I'm like the online stuff is hard, but
Yeah, it's just
like,
no motivation to do anything.
yeah, I
Mm.
feel that like hardcore, but
Yeah.
it's hard to like do like online and just like remember when you have stuff to do and to stay motivated to do it. And because you keep saying, "Oh, I have time, like I can wait," and then you're like,
Yeah.
had no, then like the day of, you're like, "Oh crap, I have like a 5-page essay due or something crazy like
Yeah.
that."
My history class is the hardest because there's just you don't have any particular time you have to watch the videos. So I just put them all off, and like I have a test coming up this week, and I have like a shit ton of videos to watch all at once this week to catch up before the test on Friday because I haven't watched them the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, dude, that's when
That's
I
the
did online, that was like my biggest problem was I would just always like wait and just like not like do it like
hmm
for like last minute and stuff. Some of the stuff was pretty good. Like I had took this English class, not this spring, but last spring.
hmm
I did great. I like would procrastinate, but and like I would write these essays,
Yeah.
analysis essays and stuff, and like I'd like just do great on them and stuff. And
hmm
most of the time I just kind of like bull crap. Like it was pretty easy because you just found like a point to make, and then you just found stuff that you could manipulate to
Yeah.
as evidence to support it.
hmm Was that
But,
English 111?
dude, I don't remember what it's called. It was with Dr. Brian Roberts. Um,
Okay. Yeah, I've never had him.
he he's hilarious. Like,
Mm.
oh my god, he is one probably my favorite professor I've had, and he's just awesome. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
But yeah, so like, what are you like planning to do? Like, I know like a month or so ago, we talked a little bit about like what you were like planning on, like what you were thinking of doing, like
hmm
after this semester ended and stuff. And like, is it like kind of like the same thing that you were planning on doing, or?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm planning on going for my bachelor's degree in psych, um, in order to become a guidance counselor, and then eventually I'm planning on going to grad school because you have to have a graduate, or I mean, you have to have a master's degree in order to become a guidance counselor. But obviously, you have to take care of the bachelor's degree first, and I'm still not set on where I want to go completely yet. I'm still kind of in between Clarion and Edinburgh because I'm already taking classes at the Venango campus out here, so I'm already going to be in the system for both campuses. So, I'm kind of stick with it since I don't have to reapply anywhere else, I figured. So, that's my plans right now, just to going for psych next, next semester at the fall, wherever, either Borough or Clarion.
Yeah, I mean, like I I know Clarence, like it's a pretty nice campus and stuff, and I mean I've heard there's like some like good places to get like food and stuff too.
Yeah, it
And
is nice that it's like, and I kind of like how it's downtown Clarion. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you could walk there's a CVS right there if you need anything, or there's lots of fast food joints and restaurants, within walking distance. You didn't have to get in a car. You can just walk across town.
yeah,
But there's a lot of pros and cons for both of them.
yeah,
Edinburgh has a grad program too, so there's a possibility later on down the road I could go there for my grad school. So that would be one reason I maybe want to choose Clarion, because I kind of don't want to stay at one place for a particular long period of time. You know what I mean? I kind of
yeah,
two different schools in a way.
Yeah, you kind of like want to get like more than just like you want to experience a couple different schools so that like if you if you enjoy but like not have a great time at like say Clarion and then you go to Edinburgh for your grad school and you like have a better time or like it could
Yeah,
like just being able to
yeah,
compare the two and just like being able to say which one you like better and stuff and just to
yeah,
experience
yeah.
in
I
general.
feel like two different experiences would be cool. Of course, I don't know. I mean, I could still go to Edinburgh for that, or I could still go somewhere else for grad school. But I just feel like two different schools for your bachelor's and grad school would be kind of good. Just be, like I said, two separate experiences. I feel like staying at one place because it would be 5 years, 3 more years to get my
Yeah.
uh, bachelor's degree and then 2 years of grad school. I feel like 5 years at one campus is kind of a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I I've heard that like a lot of people do that where they do like actually I think most people do that like where they go to like get their bachelor's at one school and then they go get their like master's at another one
Oh,
and
yeah.
and then maybe even get their if they end up getting a doctorate they go to like another school and get it through
Oh,
like a third school and it's like it's just crazy like go
well, I'm
like
never going to get a doctorate, but that's a master's is even hard to believe I'm going to go for that. But a doctorate, yeah. But yeah, I know what you mean. They do
yeah.
that.
I mean, I'm sure it looks pretty good because you're going to like multiple schools and they got get accepted and like some schools are better at what you're like going for. Some schools have better programs than other ones,
Right. Yeah, it
and
just
like
depends on what you're going for.
yeah, and just to like the masters like Edinburgh might have a better like psych program than Clarion, which will be good for like your master's degree and stuff when you go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all stuff I'm kind of thinking about. But yeah, I'll probably make a decision in a month or so here,
Yeah.
where I'm going to go. I still have some flexibility because of the whole merger, the Penn West,
Yeah.
that you can
Yeah.
it's the same school now, so you can transfer even if one of them doesn't work out.
Yeah. Like you could even go to like what Cal U's the third school,
Yeah,
right?
you
Yeah.
count that's the three that they're doing for this whole merger thing.
Yeah. Like I was pretty sure it was them, but I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, Cal U and then like be completely wrong. But
Yeah,
like I mean if
that's
you
yeah,
but yeah, so like even if you wanted to go like down closer to Pittsburgh, you could like still be part of like the Penn West system and stuff and
yeah.
then down
Which
there.
we'll have to see what that looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think out east they're doing like the same thing with like three
they
schools,
are.
three
They
or
are
four,
like
I think.
Bloomsburg and I think Shippensburg, and there's another one in the east and like in the middle of the state and towards the end of the state. I don't know if they're calling them pennies, but I don't know. But they are
Yeah,
doing the same thing. They're consolidating three state schools out that way too.
yeah. I think it would just make sense to do Penn East because like you already got Penn West, you might as well do Penn East, and then do
Yeah,
Penn Central.
Penn
Like,
State. Yeah, screw it. Might as well at this point.
I mean, like, dude, there's I know Michigan has like they have like Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan, Central Michigan, Michigan State,
hmm
Southern Michigan, I think. And I think like one of the Carolinas does that too. I know there's like an East Carolina and a Coastal Carolina,
Oh
but
yeah,
I
yeah,
like two different schools. I don't know if they're like connected like as like the Carolina schools or not, but it's just kind of like I think I know Coastal Carolina's in South Carolina, but I'm
hmm
thinking East Carolina might be in North Carolina, so that might be like how they can have two that are like technically in the East or like and still have similar names or whatever.
hmm
But I don't know.
yeah. I mean, I think a lot of schools are kind of moving towards that direction nowadays. You know,
Yeah,
all it was really for financial reasons.
yeah, but so like I mean, if everybody can see you're a Steelers fan, I mean
Oh yeah,
that. So like, what do you think
they're
about how they? Well, first off, I gotta say rest in peace to Dwayne Haskins.
yeah,
Everything,
terrible, man. So terrible. I was
dude.
shocked.
Uh, Man,
Yeah.
I don't just you just gotta be careful and like live each day as if it could be your last because you never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that was shocking,
Yeah, I
Nice to
mean,
hear that.
but other than that sad news, what do you think about how like the Steelers are looking going into next year and stuff, and just like like what they've done in free agency so far? If you've been keeping up with it.
Yeah, I've been keeping up quite a bit with it. Um, yeah, I think they're gonna be overall a better team than last year, but I'm not really sold on them making the playoffs because I mean they really, in my opinion, the Steelers fluked their way into the playoffs, last year. I think, and they squeaked in. There's a lot of other teams that were really more stacked on paper than they were, a lot more talent, and they just didn't quite make it. Um, but I think they're going to be a little better. But I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, man. I mean, the AFC is so stacked. I mean, the AFC West is crazy. I mean, I
Yeah,
know if anybody's been keeping up with all the free agency. I mean, just with Russ going to Denver, and then you got like Devontae Adams pairing up with Derek Carr now. They were college buds, and just all of that. And
like what the Chargers did on defense,
yeah, they
and like
added Khalil Mack, I think, and
yeah, and
the
they got J.C. Jackson,
yeah from New
and like
England, yeah,
the freaking the Chiefs are the Chiefs. They got Juju, they got that
yeah,
one guy, that Marquez.
Marquez Valles-Scantling,
Yeah, I couldn't remember how.
MVS, yeah,
Yeah, he
from Green
got him
Bay,
from the Packers. I
yeah,
mean, and it's Andy Reid. He's
yeah,
a mastermind with like
he is,
offensive stuff. So like he'll figure out like with you could throw me and you out there with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, and like well, you could even throw like somebody else at quarterback, like Alex Evans, like just throwing like just like us three out there, and like Andy Reid would be able to like win some games with us out there. Like he's just
yeah, I know, yeah, he is a pretty good offensive guy. I think the Tyreek Hill thing, I think they're gonna, get past it. I think they're gonna draft somebody because it's a pretty deep um, receiver draft, this
yeah.
year. So I think they're gonna fill that void. But yeah, it's just really stacked. The whole AFC. I mean, there's so many elite quarterbacks now. With you got Mahomes and you got Herbert and you got you got Burrow just went to the Super Bowl, and
You got Lamar Jackson.
Mark
Just in the
Jackson,
AFC North, you got Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson,
Deshaun Watson,
Deshaun Watson,
maybe.
and Baker Mayfield. Like
Yeah,
regardless of what happens there, and if you just like they got the Browns also have Jacoby Brissett, who he's won
yeah,
games as a Colts quarterback and a
yeah. I've
Dolphins.
watched him. Yeah, he's not bad.
He's not bad.
He's a guy that
He
can win you a couple games if you need.
yeah,
Definitely.
he could if you like get enough. If he was on the Patriots right now, or if he was on the Patriots a year they went like 8-8 or
Yeah, with
whatever
Cam Newton
with
back in
Cam
20.
Newton,
Yeah,
they could have probably made the playoffs. Like Cam Newton was still dealing with his shoulder issues and stuff. So
yeah. He couldn't throw that year. He
yeah,
still can't throw.
but like if you Brissett has like a good defense, and you can run the ball some, and you got decent
Oh,
receivers
yeah.
out there, he can win you. He can go like lead you to the playoffs if he
Hmm.
has to be the starting quarterback for a little bit.
Oh, definitely. But yeah, but one thing about the Steelers is, I love the Mitch Trubisky signing. I really do. I think it's
Yeah,
a great low risk thing. I mean, the only quarterback that I would say, that if we would like bet the farm, like multiple first round picks and second round picks would be Russ. But obviously, that's not really the Steeler way, quote unquote. But yeah, I think Trubisky's a really good low risk signing. I mean, they signed him for like 10 mil or whatever it was.
yeah, and
They had
like
the draft to get him, and you
yeah,
could
and
see
with
what
like
he's like.
and
He's
like
in a
with
bad
the
system.
oh sorry,
Oh no, you're good. Go ahead, man.
But like with the incentives that like is on his contract, like if he like meets them, I think it's like he can make up to like 20 mil or something.
Okay.
But like
Yeah.
that's still not bad because if he's meeting what we want him to do, he he's gonna deserve to get paid what he gets paid.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But I mean, we'll have to see. He was he was just in a bad system and with Matt Nagy in Chicago. So, you know,
Yeah,
I
like
learned under Josh Allen, the Bills for a year probably helped him out a little bit, helped his confidence out.
yeah, and the new coach of the Giants, Brian Dable,
The
he was
bowl,
often he was the
yeah,
offensive coordinator for the Bills, and he really wanted him to come to New York with him when
yeah,
he
I actually did hear that. Yeah,
and like he's also Mitch has made a Pro Bowl when he was on the Bears. I think it was like his second
he
season.
did. Yeah, that was the double doink season, right?
I believe so.
Because they should see he should even won a playoff game if that kicker would have got made that
Yeah,
kick. Who knows
I,
what could have happened that year?
I think he could be like how like Jimmy Garoppolo is for like the 49ers
Yeah,
stuff. I feel like Mitch could be like a high end version of him,
I could
and
see
like
that.
I'm just saying that because I feel like he can move around a little bit,
Yeah,
but
I'm excited to have some mobility at quarterback after watching
yeah.
Ben play these past couple seasons.
Yeah, I mean, Ben still had some magical moments there, but
A little
they
bit,
a
few and far,
little bit.
few and
But
far between.
yeah, but I think Mitch is gonna do good, pretty decent this year. I mean, if you just look back, well, the Bears were just a mess, and they still
Yeah,
are. Hopefully, they don't waste Justin Fields, but
yeah. It's got a quarterback graveyard out there in Chicago.
like
Yeah,
he only started 1 year in college, one full year, and then he like declared her a year early, and
played for the
he
draft. Yeah,
yeah he got drafted like top 10 and stuff,
yeah. He was the second
and
pick. He was before Mahomes and Watson even that year, which is just crazy.
yeah, but he just I don't know. I think just like developing and stuff, like it's probably like he's just gonna have a good year, and from what everybody in Buffalo said, like I've heard about
Yeah,
him from
coaches.
Buffalo's, everybody loved him. He's a leader and stuff. So like I think we're gonna do good, and I like the signings we've had on the offensive line,
Yeah, we
and
had like didn't we get like Cole or somebody? What was his
yeah,
JC Cole or something?
Mason
Oh,
Cool, and we
yeah,
got James Daniels. And
yeah.
JC Hassenauer, I think, just
Hassan,
signed his.
he
He
resigned at 10.
resigned like yesterday, I believe. And that,
Yeah.
so
I'm not
like,
I'm not a big fan of the our right tackle signing though. The Chuk Sakura for.
he's been doing good. He's been doing good the past few
Yeah,
years.
he's been okay. It's just the thing. It's a good chunk of money they paid him though. I think, in my opinion, for what he's produced on the field.
I mean, it's hard to find like good tackles, and like it's just he's good. He's not like super good, like maybe not Pro Bowl level. Maybe get a Pro Bowl later, like sometime in his career, just like one, if
Maybe I would have bet on
maybe.
that.
But like he's like a solid like probably 10-year starter type because he's done good. I mean, I went to I just watching the games. The receivers couldn't get open. Ben, it couldn't like it. Just
Ben had
it's
no.
been a mess the past couple of years.
Yeah.
And I feel like this year would be better, and like second year in Matt Canada's offense, and
Well, we'll see what
getting
he has to do. Yeah,
like
he's never
getting
really
more.
had a mobile quarterback, and I know that's like kind of his offense is to have
Yeah,
some ability to it.
but like he's done great things when he was like an offensive coordinator in college and stuff. So I think we can do good offensively. We got Najee. The offensive lines we're like working on getting it better. The
They're still gonna have.
receivers.
Yeah,
The receivers don't look as good as they did the past. I don't even know how many years. I wish we would have kept Juju
I do too.
or
I think he's a clutch receiver at moment.
even James Washington or Ray
Yeah,
Ray McLeod. Just one of those guys. I wish we would have kept.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's like third down, like you need to keep the drive going, like third and 4 or something, and you're trying to throw the ball. I mean, I don't know. I don't trust Johnson or Claypool, to be honest with you.
Well, I trust Johnson because last year he should have. I don't know. Did he make the Pro Bowl this past season?
Yeah,
I
but it was a substitution.
I
I think it was a substitution for Jamar Chase from Cincy. I'm pretty sure because they were in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I
But
think he should have
yeah,
been in the Pro Bowl. Like regardless, he had a really good season. He's he's he didn't
yeah,
drop as many passes as before, and he's gonna improve. And I think this year he's gonna do really good if we can
I
get him
mean,
the
I hope
ball.
so. My problem with him is he just drops the ball. I don't know if anybody here is watches a lot of Steeler games. Like he just drops it in the most pivotal of moments. That's the thing.
Yeah, but
Like
he's also made some really good catches. Like I don't, but like he's also what I think he's going into his fourth year, I
yeah,
believe now. So like it usually takes people like most players don't just come out and do like super good, and he's had a good
yeah, I
season.
know you're average.
So
That's
and he's gonna keep working on it, and I'm sure this season we'll see even less drops of what we saw last year. And last year,
yeah,
I don't even know
hopefully.
if we saw 5 drops from him. I can't. I don't
Towards the
remember what his
end,
stat is.
I had to look it up sometime, but yeah, towards the end, it was getting bad. I mean, the first part, like the first 3/4 of the season, he was really good, and I would make the case for the Pro Bowl. But a couple of his last games, especially like the game with the Chiefs, I mean, he did have quite a few drops from what I remember.
Yeah,
He's just not a guy I would like give a big contract to.
I mean, he will get one because he's. I don't. Maybe he's like he's trending towards being one of the better receivers in the league. He's hot. He's underrated still, and
I still need to see a lot more. I would to give him some because he was asking for like I don't know what it was 4 or 5 years, 90 million or something. Of course,
I
they did
mean,
just give Christian Kirk a big ass contract, so
yeah, and Christian Kirk is not even close as good as Deontay Johnson.
yeah, I would. Yeah, Johnson is a lot better than him.
I mean, not
He's
like I
like a
saw
tier
that
two.
contract that the Jags gave him, and I was just like, well, the Jags are going to be the Jags again, probably.
Yeah, that inflated the whole contracts for wide receivers in the league. When they
Yeah,
saw him getting that money.
and then Tyreek got that big contract after he got traded to the Dolphins. But I
Yeah,
mean,
Tyreek and Devontae. Of course, Devontae I think really deserves it, but
yeah, yeah. I feel like Tyreek's gonna fall off a little bit. Just
yeah, he's been playing for I don't know how long, but a decent amount.
I think like 2014 was when he was drafted. I'm not quite. I
Yeah,
want to say now was like right when he was drafted, or right around, or
I think he's still good, and he still will be good. But I feel like we've seen his best years instead of like some people were like the best years are still ahead of him.
yeah. Like I mean, before the Chiefs had Patrick Mahomes, they had Alex Smith, and he was doing real good, and Tyreek had good years. But then when Patrick Mahomes came along, they like opened up the playbook more, and that's nothing against Alex Smith. I'm a big Alex Smith fan
Yeah,
and
he's a
stuff, but
decent. He was a decent quarterback. Yeah.
yeah, and it's just he was getting like older and stuff, and he was never like really known as like the big armed guy. And then you got
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes
Yeah.
that like he can throw that thing like
Yeah.
anywhere,
Yeah. He
like
could throw.
just.
Yeah. We'll
But
see how he does with Tua. That's the thing.
yeah, and that's what like I was thinking that like Tua, I don't know. I hope he does well. I hope everybody succeeds, but Tua, I don't know. I don't know
Even
how
if
he'll
he
do.
does have a good year and surprises you, I mean, Tua at his best is nowhere close to even Patrick Mahomes at his worst. I would think.
Well, I don't know because Patrick Mahomes at his worst is like thinking he can throw the ball anywhere, like kind of like Brett Favre just throwing it anywhere and
Yeah.
then like throwing it into like quadruple coverage and then thinking he's gonna get a touchdown and then it's like a 4 interception game and
Yeah, he
they
can do it
lose.
sometimes, but then sometimes it works out for him. So
Yeah,
he's got a lot more deep ball as far from I've seen, from watching the games and Tua. I haven't seen much of a deep ball with Tua yet. You know.
yeah, he can throw a pretty deep ball, but I don't think he has like the arm strength, especially like from like college and stuff. I know he can throw the deep ball, but he also had like four for four first round four future first round draft picks at wide receiver for like most of his career.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's
He did have quite a bit.
like he had
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs, and Jerry Judy all on the same team at one time, like for 2 years. It's like,
Yeah,
of
that is.
course,
You have that much talent. It's pretty easy. Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean
Very easy.
that's how Alabama is like every year, but like it was just like
Mm.
nuts, and it's like of course he's gonna be able to throw like deep balls to those guys because they're gonna get open. Like it's not like as difficult and as like the NFL and the windows aren't as tight, and then you got those guys running the routes and stuff. It's just
Yeah.
not fair.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. We'll see how he does with. He's got Waddle and Hill now, so he's kind of doesn't have any excuses this year.
Yeah, well, last year he had Devontae Parker and Jalen Waddle, so like
Yeah, that's
and
still a pretty good combo. Yeah.
yeah, and they have Mike Gesicki at tight end, so it's like
Yeah, he's a decent tight end.
yeah, I mean I think he's like top like I I don't know I'd have to like look at like a list of like the tight ends in the league
He's
to
got to be
like
like top 10 or 15 probably at least,
yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely top 10, 15,
Somewhere
15.
in that range, I would
Yeah.
assume.
I
Yeah.
mean, I just didn't want to say like, oh, he's top 10 and then I can like count like 10 tight ends way better and stuff, but
Yeah.
he's
Somewhere
he's
in
in
that
like
range.
the top half of the league in tight ends
Hmm.
easily, so it's like don't have an excuse for it, but I mean, the AFC is just gonna be nuts. Like,
Yeah, it's a lot more stacked than the NFC anymore.
yeah, I mean, the NFC I think is still very good, and I mean, but it's just like every team and like the AFC they have to like beat the Chiefs. Like you saw the playoff game against the
Oh yeah, I've
Bills.
watched all of them
It's
this year.
it's like the Chiefs versus the Bills. That playoff game was nuts.
Yeah, that
It
was
was
probably the best game I've ever
nuts.
watched. That was just, I don't think I've
And,
watched a game quite like that. That back and forth and that
dude,
exciting.
it was nuts. Like
Yeah,
um,
I know. Yeah, it'd be a while before you ever see a game like that again.
I mean, it's just like every team is just trying to stack up on offense or defense or both to be able to beat the Chiefs. And I mean, you have some teams like the Titans and the Patriots that are going a little bit more, and even the Browns going a little bit more old school and like running the ball more and being good
Hmm.
at running the ball and stuff because
Hmm.
everybody got like smaller defenders to stop the pass and stuff. But now they're like to like run the ball. It's easier against the smaller guys, but then the
Yeah,
Browns freaking trade for Deshaun Watson, so it's like they're trying
yeah,
to like do bully ball and have a good quarterback. I mean, his off the field stuff is terrible, but on field, Deshaun Watson's one of the top quarterbacks in the league.
yeah.
But I mean, the
We're
off
still,
field stuff is
yeah.
yeah,
It's We'll have to see how he does too. He hasn't played in over a year.
yeah, that's also true. I mean, I feel like if he does play this year, he'll do good. But I used to be a fan of him until this off field stuff came up, and
Yeah,
now it's like I don't like I can't like no,
yeah, yeah. Same. Yeah,
but like it's just like well even the Colts they're like running the ball more and playing good defense. Now that I
yeah,
think of it, like with Jonathan Taylor and stuff.
yeah, yeah. Definitely. That's what I kind of hope the Steelers are kind of move to. Like work on the line and just work on running more than anything. I hope they
Yeah.
really become a running team because the running, they have not been able to run efficiently for a few years now, quite a few years, just like
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, since not the year James Conner went to the Pro Bowl, like they haven't had,
Yeah.
and it's just like he was good, and he went to Arizona and made the Pro Bowl
Yeah, he
and
did.
stuff,
Yeah.
and like a lot of it was people were saying that he was a bust, but I mean, most third round picks don't even make a Pro Bowl at all, and he's
No.
made two, like one with us and one with Arizona, and
Yeah.
I mean injuries just like he just like kept getting injured and stuff, and then the line. I also think he was like the year he made the Pro Bowl was kind of like the last year that the offensive line was really good,
Mm-hmm.
and that
Yeah,
means
it
like
was.
all the guys we had were like I think four of the five guys we had
Pro
that
Bowl.
year on the O line are retired now.
I think
Villanueva,
everybody's retired now that we was on that line because it's
yep,
like Villanueva and Pouncey and DeCastro and
and Raymond Foster, I
yeah,
believe, was the other guard,
yeah. I
and
forget who the fifth.
I don't know who the tackle was.
Yeah, I can't remember either, but I'm pretty sure everybody from that season was gone now.
Yeah,
No,
like I mean, it just like they were all Pro Bowl caliber players in their prime, but not they just kind of like they'd all been in the league for like about like 10 years or so. Or well, Villanueva I don't think was, but he was like away in the army and stuff. So like it basically ended up being like out of like college for like close to like 10 years, and usually that's like when players that are good and stick in the league, if you can play 10 years, usually closer to 10 years, the worse you start playing typically
mm-hmm.
and stuff. And
Yeah.
like Ben playing like eight, like quarterbacks always play a lot longer, but like for like the skill positions, if you can make 8 to 12 years in the league, like
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty good because I think the average amount of time in the league might be like 1 or 2 years, or like it's like something really super small,
Mm-hmm.
just because of
Yeah.
and so I just I don't know, just being able to like have that much time and then of like usually fall off towards the end, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that's just kind of like with James Conner, it was just kind of like the perfect storm of him not being able to be successful in Pittsburgh towards the end of his contract. But I think had we kept him, been he would have done good. I mean, he wouldn't be
Yeah.
like Najee,
No, but I
but
think we should have re-signed him because I don't think Arizona signed him for like a lot of money. I think he would have been a really good second string
yeah,
running back
yeah,
behind Najee because they just really run him a lot. So they're gonna
yeah,
have to get a second guy to kind of take some of that load off him at least a little bit.
yeah. I agree with that. I don't. They might draft it back. Well, Anthony McFarland was supposed to be like that guy to take reps from him, but like he was hurt most of the season.
Yeah, he was. He barely played at all.
Yeah, and I don't know. Najee, he's the type of back that like you gotta feed him though. Like he's not good, and he wants the ball not much, and his work ethic and his
Yeah.
whole career, like from when he was at Alabama and when he was in high school, he's been getting the ball a lot and
Oh yeah.
stuff.
I
So
just you just gotta worry about overworking him. I mean, I know he likes to run the ball, he likes to get fed the ball, but running backs tend to have one of the shorter career spans in the NFL compared to most other positions. He's
yeah,
already he's a little older. I think he's 25 already, I
no,
believe.
I think he's only like 23,
Hold on.
23, I
Alexa,
think.
how old is Najee Harris?
Najee Harris is 24 years old.
24. Oh, we're in the
Okay.
middle.
I was gonna say like I almost said 23, 24, but I wasn't sure
But he was,
because
he's a little older than some draft prospects, like a year or two.
yeah, I mean Uh, maybe just a little bit. I mean, I would have thought he would have been. So he did 3 years at Alabama. Oh no, I think he did 4 years at Bama. Actually, I don't know, but like I think he's right because if he did 4 years, he would have been 22 when he got drafted. Turned 20. I think he just had a birthday actually, not too long ago.
Did he?
I
Okay.
think, but I could be completely wrong. But I
Yeah,
think
I
he
don't
did.
know.
But I mean, like that's still pretty young. You can get like six. Like usually running most players they don't like 30 is like when they start
They
going over
start
the hill.
dropping off a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, especially like at like running backs. But I mean, if he can take care of his body and like do
Hmm.
everything, which I think he will, and
Yeah, I
like
know he's quite a, workout guy. He really works on his body even more than your average NFL player does.
I mean, like look at Derrick Henry. Like his workload at high school, I'm not sure, but I know he had a bunch of yards in high school. But at Alabama, he was their workhorse a lot. I mean, they still like rotated guys, but he still got a lot of carries. And then
Hmm.
at since he's been on Tennessee, they feed him, and he's for the most part he hasn't had too many injury problems. I know this year he did, but kind of like he came back and like just I think Najee is kind of like that type of mold where it's like going to
He's
be harder
yeah.
to get him off the field than it is to not give him the ball. Like
Hmm.
like it. But I do think being able to have like a second back has like either like a change of pace back or
Yeah.
something to like give it or like even
A
to
skill
throw them
set.
both back out there
Yeah.
like
That.
just kind of like just maybe not like give the ball to Najee, but like just give it a little bit of like a
Hmm.
break or something
I just
wouldn't
like,
be too bad.
yeah, I like when teams have like, two solid back, like Cleveland does with like Chubb and Hunt, you know.
Yeah,
You know, Chubb's the main guy, but they still, Hunt's still decent. And they can
yeah,
really use him in other ways that they can't use Chubb, and put, like you said, put both of them on the field at the same time.
yeah. Actually, I think the Browns actually have a couple more decent backs than that. Like
Yeah, they do have a
especially
few under them.
that one game.
Dearness Johnson.
Yeah, and then
He
I
I
think
watched one. He was a backup, but he actually did really good. Like he was like a third or fourth, but he could be a one on some teams.
yeah, and
He
I
did that.
think like the Jaguars, they got James Robinson, who he was
Yeah.
hurt a lot
Yeah.
last year, but the year
Mm.
before that, he like undrafted rookie made the Pro Bowl, and then they drafted Travis Etienne,
Yeah. He
and
was he was injured all this year, but
yeah, but
we'll
I
have to
mean,
see
like
how he does.
it's like he said, I saw in an interview the other day, he said that if there was a good year to miss, that was probably the good year to miss was last year with
Probably.
like
Yeah.
everything that went on with the Jaguars.
Yeah, that
Now,
was.
but I think those two could be a good dynamic duo and stuff. And
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I mean, having a couple good backs is better than only having one or none because
Hmm.
like, just like the
Makes your offense
49ers.
more dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the 49ers, they have like every running back on their roster can like go in and like have 100-yard game and
Yeah.
someone that's on the system and someone that's like on like being able to get like the good like some good running backs and stuff. And
Hmm.
I think we have some backs on the roster that have good potential, but like still wouldn't mind like drafting somebody like there's a running back from South Dakota State in the draft this year named like Pierre Strong Jr. I think is his name.
Okay. Yeah,
But
I'm not.
I've heard like some like stuff about like how like the Steelers should take him in the later rounds and
He's
like
probably
how
like a
he could,
mid round guy or to late, like a third, fourth type guy.
yeah, like a
Yeah.
lot of it's because of like he went to like a smaller school and stuff. But like
Right.
I've heard that he's like very good like a good receiving back and has like good
Yeah.
speed and stuff. So that'd be like a nice compliment to Najee who can like do everything and stuff. But
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't be opposed to them drafting a guy like that, mid round.
Yeah, but I don't want him to take a quarterback, honestly.
Yeah, that's a good thing you said that. I can't say I do either. I don't know. The only guy I would be okay with taking at 20 would be Willis, but I don't think he's going to be there.
I don't think
I
he will
really
be.
because I feel
Uh,
like Panthers or there's lots of other teams, Saints are in need of a quarterback that all have picks ahead of us, and I think he's going to go off the board by then.
I mean, quite a few of the quarterbacks I like. I I think more highly of this quarterback class than what like the draft analysis people like people on TV think of. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like Desmond Ritter. I
Yeah,
like
he's
Sam
Cincy,
Howell.
right?
Yeah, he's from
Yeah,
Cincinnati.
yeah.
I like Sam Howell, the North Carolina quarterback. Um,
Who's the guy
Malik
from Old
Willis
Miss?
is a freak, but like I don't know
Matt
if I
Corral.
Matt Corral.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's from Old Miss. Yeah, he's decent. Yeah,
yeah. I'm not that big of a fan of Kenny Pickett.
yeah.
I don't know. Like, I mean, everybody wants him. They want Willis or him, but I don't.
I don't know. With him, it's like I feel like he's got a bigger. I don't know. The ceiling isn't as high for him, but the floor isn't nearly as low as like the other guys. You know what I mean? Like I feel like Willis is like a boomer bust guy. Like he's going to be really good, or he's just going to be not good at all in the
Yeah,
NFL. You know, because
yeah.
just from what I've seen from him, from what I've heard from some of the tape I've watched of him, some of his college playing, I feel like Pickett is like, I just don't see him ever being elite, but you never know, of course.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Brady wasn't supposed to be like anything, and he's like the goat
Yeah,
now. So, but
yeah,
I
exactly.
I think Desmond Ritter has the lowest floor, or not the lowest floor. I think he has the highest floor, and with the highest, I think Willis has the highest ceiling,
Yeah,
and
I do too. Yeah,
I think Matt Corral is closer to like the Willis type. Like his ceiling's really high. Kenny Pickett, I feel like he's kind of like in the middle. Like I don't like I I'd rather take like he'd be like out of like the six quarterbacks we named. Pickett would be number 6 for me.
yeah. I'm not sure how I would rank him, but yeah,
Like
I just don't know. I don't think we should spend a first round pick on a quarter. We have lots of other needs on that roster.
I think we should go best player available. But this is I think you should do that regardless like of what year because
Of what your
um,
needs are. Yeah,
yeah, because like free agency is where you go to fill your needs, and then the draft is you're supposed to like develop guys. So like you just draft best player available. I hope we get Jordan Davis, the defensive tackle from Georgia. I would
okay.
love to have him.
I would like. I think that one center's good. I don't know where he's from. Linderbaum. I've seen his name quite a few
Yeah,
times.
he's from Iowa.
Okay, I think
Yeah,
he would be good because I really want a solid center because I'm not a big Kendrick Green fan. I just don't. He's just no. I haven't seen it in him. You know what I mean?
yeah. But I mean Mason Cole, he's a
He's
center.
center too.
So like I think we're good on it. Like Leonard Baum, I think he'll be good. Like I don't know. I've heard that some stuff that he's like short for the position. His like arms are like short and like he's kind of smaller and stuff. So like I
Yeah,
and like I think he'll do good. And I will with what we got in free agency on an interior offensive line. I think I don't want to go after a center. I don't want to go after one in the first round because then I'll feel like the some of the draft picks that we've already taken, like past years. I mean, we got like we can move Kendrick Green to guard, and we still
yeah,
have Kevin Dotson at guard, and we could have Mason Cole and J.C. Hausnauer compete for the center job, and then we still have James Daniels as a guard. I mean, we got like some flexibility, and like Kendrick Green could do better at center. Like he could develop and
yeah.
stuff.
He could. He's just a little undersized. I always thought he kind of he kind of gets
Like,
pancaked a lot from what I've seen this year. You know.
yeah, I feel like, I mean, weight wise, I don't think he's too undersized, but like I think it's the same thing with like people were saying with Leonard Baum about like his arms are a little short for and stuff, and kind of goes against him. But he was also mainly a guard in college.
Yeah.
Kendrick Green was, so I think that probably also like he had to like
Yeah, I know he didn't play much at center. He only played a few games actually.
yeah. I mean I don't know. I think we should just go like best player available and probably go like something with like on defense or something. Honestly,
I wouldn't mind a corner because we were kind of, a little short with corners.
I mean I feel pretty confident with like the corners we got. We signed Levi Wallace in free agency.
He's good. I
Um,
like Witherspoon.
we have
McKillop.
him. And then Cam Sutton. I like Cam Sutton in the slot. He's pretty good and
He's
stuff.
decent. Yeah.
I feel like we might not have like any like Pro Bowlers at corner, but I mean back when like the Steelers won those Super Bowls, we didn't have any like guys that were like Pro Bowlers. We had like guys that were like really good, but like they
Hmm.
never were like some of like the top guys. Like we had Ike Taylor, who was a great corner,
Yeah, he was good. Yeah.
and like we just didn't have to have like that star cornerback. We had good and great corners, but we didn't have like that star like how JC Jackson is like
Yeah.
JC Jackson or like how Darrell Revis was in his prime. But we had guys that were capable of doing their jobs and stuff, and we had a good enough pass rush and run defense that it like worked very well.
Hmm.
But I mean,
Yeah, we'll have to see who they draft. I mean, it really could be any position. I mean, there's no real general consensus of like, oh yeah, they're gonna get a lineman, or they're gonna get a corner, or they're gonna get a quarterback. I mean, it could be anyone or any other position. They could get a
yeah.
event. It could get anything.
Yeah, it'll be and like I don't know. I feel we'll do pretty good in a draft. I mean, every team think does feels good after the draft, but
Steelers have been, they're usually decent at drafting people.
yeah, I mean, we haven't had a losing season since Tomlin's been the coach. And I believe Kevin Colbert, the GM, he was the GM before Tomlin was here. I do believe. I could be
Yeah.
wrong,
I
but
think he's been for a while, since like early 2000s.
yeah, or like close or like mid 2000s or something like
Yeah,
that. I
like
think.
somewhere around that range. I don't know when, but
But
somewhere.
like, and then we were good. We've just been pretty since uh like since the 70s, man. Like we've just been good since then, and like just consistently good. Like we might have had like a couple like losing seasons here and there, but like we've
Hmm.
been like one of the
Oh yeah,
better
I mean they've been one of the
teams.
most consistent teams,
Yeah, so it's like
overall.
I feel like we'll do good with like the drafting and stuff, and like what I mean we always get good wide receivers in like the middle rounds. So I think we could wait till like the middle rounds, and like this wide receiver class is
It's
deep.
pretty
Like
deep. Yeah, it is.
I
I've
mean,
heard.
it's like it seems like every year the wide receiver class since like 2014, it's been like deep, and I mean, it's good for like teams to
I
be
feel
able
like we
to
could
like
find
focus
a.
on other stuff.
Yeah, I definitely feel like we could find a guy, in the mid round to be that third guy at least for a year, because
Yeah,
they're gonna need a third person, decent receiver, because they only have two, real good decent
yeah,
receivers on the roster right now.
yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they go with and stuff. But
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think if we just go best player available and don't reach too much with the pick, I think we'll do pretty good.
yeah, that's tend what they have. It's usually what they kind of do, anyways. Especially the Steelers, they tend to just do that, pick the best guy and go with it.
Yeah. I mean, I think there was some years where like it was like 3 years in a row they drafted a linebacker in the first round. They did like Shazier, Dupree, Bud Dupree, and then T.J. Watt. They were like within like 4 or 5 years, they were all first round
Yeah,
draft.
they were. Yeah.
And actually, they drafted Jarvis Jones. I think the year before they drafted Shazier, and then they drafted like the past since like 2013, we've drafted five linebackers in the first round because we also got Devin Bush.
Yeah.
That's
Which
just.
we'll have to see how he does.
I mean, I think he'll come back because usually the first year coming back from the
Or
ACL
ACL.
is
Yeah.
pretty hard. So I think he's gonna get his feet under him and he's gonna do pretty good. And we got Brian Flores to help coach up the
Yeah.
defense.
Yeah.
And
That was a great signing.
he
Great.
got robbed by
Yeah.
the
I think he did
Dolphins.
too.
Did terrible with
There was
how
some
they handled
sketchy
that.
stuff I've heard going down there, but I never thought he was really a bad coach, you know?
Well, he was good. He almost led them to the playoffs after
Yeah, they were
being
1-7 season. He was 1-7 at the beginning, and then they were like one game away from being in the playoffs, I think, or maybe two. But either way, they were close. They were like 8 or 9 or 9 or 8 or something. But
Yeah.
that was after coming back from 1-7. I mean, they won. I mean, granted, some of the competition wasn't as good, but still, I mean, they won like 7, 8 games in a row to get their record back up to a winning season. You know, after
Yeah.
going 1-7, I thought that was a pretty impressive.
And like the year before, they almost made the playoffs. They had like a 10-win season and just
Yeah,
missed
they
the
did.
playoffs.
Yeah.
The competition might have not been as good towards the end of the season, but it's an NFL. Like anybody can win any day. I mean, they're all
even
paid professionals. They're all highly
any
talented
team. Yeah,
athletes. I mean,
I still think any team that wins 7, 8 in a row, you know, they're doing something right, even if some of the competition not, you know, is good.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think we're gonna probably end this episode here in a little bit. I mean, getting
Okay.
close to an hour. But dude, it's been great talking some ball with you and stuff.
Yeah, same.
And
Yeah.
Probably the last question I'm gonna ask, because I think this is gonna be a question I want to ask on like every time I have a guest, is like, what are like some of your favorite foods, man? Like everybody loves food, and like you gotta ask people what their favorite food is.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd say like a cheeseburger or something, like a burger from anywhere. I mean, I eat burgers all the time. I mean, I never really get sick of a burger from somewhere. You know, stuff like that. Just like burgers and like you know, I like pizza quite a bit. And if you're talking fast food, I like you know, I like going to let me think. You know, I like Chick-fil-A is one I really like. I like some Chipotle. That's pretty smack. You know, just stuff like that. I'm a big fast food guy, even though it's not good for you. I always really like fast food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there food. There's a lot of good food options, like at like different fast food places and stuff, and just like there's lots of good food out there, man. I'm hungry now. Like, no cap. It's just.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. Like pizza. I love pizza and stuff. Like.
Mm-hmm.
So like, do you like thin crust or thick crust better?
Oh, thin. I'd say thin.
Oh, I like thick crust, man.
Are you a thick crust guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just too doughy for me sometimes, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I guess. Like, I mean, you gotta cook it like right though. You can't like you gotta like cook it just like long enough to make sure it's not doughy, like
Yeah.
But, I mean, a lot of people. I don't. Thin crust isn't bad, but like if I had a choice, I'd go like thick. But that's just my personal preference.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that too. Just you know, switch them around the opposite. I like thin a little bit better. Definitely.
But what where where's your favorite cheeseburger from? Like favorite place to get a cheeseburger from?
Oh man.
I mean,
Um,
be your grandma's house if like your grandma makes some bomb cheeseburgers or whatever, you know.
my grandma makes some pretty bomb food, but I don't, not really cheeseburgers. But um, I don't know if I really have like one place in particular. I just like a good like burger at a restaurant. Ooh, I will say actually one of my favorite places is up the road here at Dondi's.
Yeah.
Uh, I highly recommend it. Anybody wants to go there. They have a grilled cheeseburger, like two grilled cheese sandwiches instead of a bun. And then it's like they put bacon on it and cheese, and it's the most like unhealthy thing ever, but it's freaking awesome. They have like really good burgers there. It's like, yeah. I'd probably say there, but anywhere it's just like a restaurant, like that's usually like one of the first things I go to is a burger.
Yeah.
Never
Well,
gets old.
well, man, it's nice having you on. Thanks again, like
Yeah,
for
no
coming
problem.
on, and I'll
Yeah.
definitely have to after the draft. I'll definitely have to have you come on, and we'll talk a little bit about like how to draft, how you thought the draft went, and everything.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
as we get closer to the season, maybe even do a little bit predictions on
Yeah.
how well we think they're gonna
Record.
do.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be fun. Yeah.
But man, thanks again for coming on, and I
Yeah, no
mean.
problem. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
And for everybody that's watched, leave a leave a like and comment and subscribe to the channel. I mean, if you don't do it for me, do it for John because he was amazing, and just like all the other guests. So like, do it for them. Don't do it for me. And hopefully you guys stick around for the next episode.